Yeah, anyone else wanted to ask? I am not able to see who have raised hands because I'm creating a poll.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have posted in discourse also about that I have deployed it, but I'm not sure that how it's going to perform. Like, so can you suggest how can I do the tests or all?
So you can try on the existing public test cases, and it also have that checks in there. So yeah, I will show you what that means. Okay, I'm on this page, and these are the test cases, and then these checks are mentioned over here. So try and see if these questions with these tests are passing or not.
So I need to like convert this into a JSON, like right?
Yeah,
This
these are
require.
YAMLs, so request will be
Yeah.
coming through a JSON that's
Yeah.
mentioned
So
over.
I need to convert. Yeah, I need to convert it to JSON and then pass it like this way, right?
Yeah.
So like one thing, sir, I have created it. Like main thing is like the sir has told in the previous session that we should give a immediate response of 200 HTTP. Like the status code should be 200 immediately. But in my case, it takes time like 1 minute to 2 minutes. So will that be okay, or is there any problem in that? Yeah, that yeah,
So this
send
is
it.
what you need to send, and what happens is once you just check the secret, okay,
Yeah.
then if that secret matches, that means it's coming from the right source. Then you send 200 response immediately, okay, just after matching the secret. Then later you do all this processing with LLM and all these things. You create a GitHub repo, you enable the uh, GitHub pages, all this thing you do, and then later you need to ping this URL that come
Okay.
with
Only
the
only
request.
for the secret key, right? Only for the secret key, I have to give that HTTP status, right?
Yeah. So over here it
Okay.
mentions once you check the secret key, you send a response to this particular. I mean, this same you send a 200 response,
Okay. Fine. And sir,
and that,
like the
yes.
URL you are talking, like the thing that will generate, like I have checked it also, that was producing a good amount of, like it was producing a decent amount of tasks, like for the checks you are telling that I have, like basically I have given the prompt and everything to it and it is passing. So like for the advanced checks, like how can I build it, like the evaluation scripts, if I need to evaluate, then how can I do that?
Use LLM to write evaluation scripts and ask it to write better test cases, and you can even ask it to write a different scenario. So these are three different test cases. So ask it to write a new scenario as well.
Okay, fine.
So use ChatGPT or Claude AI. It will create new set of test cases.
So and that the n ones will be passed twice for the same task. Like for round one and round two, the n ones should be same or different.
So nonce, how it works is it's one time thing. So it will be different in your second round. So nonce is to protect IITM TDS server. So we will send secret and nonce. So secret is for you to verify if it is coming from the right source, and then nonce is for us to verify if this request is coming from the person whom we have requested. So we have sent a request, then it's coming from the source that we have sent a request, and the same nonce cannot be used twice.
So like for example, if someone sends a request through round one and again generates another round one, so it will be like quite conflicting about that.
So in round two, it will be a different nonce.
But if someone passes to round one from same machine, then it will be a clash things. Like I have to store it in a temporary database, and for round two I have to evaluate things. So how can we do that?
You match on task ID.
Task ID is better, like in the up, like up means in the JSON, yeah, where the task
Yeah,
ID.
this will be a unique task ID.
Okay. Okay, secret, no, 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 the secret, the task will be a okay, okay, fine, the task will be a okay, fine.
Yeah, task will be a unique thing.
So how do we know that you will be sending what in n1s and what we will be sending you?
How will you know that what nonce we are sending?
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
have
that
told that
you get
you,
in
yeah,
the this JSON, right? That we send a request.
like you will send for the, you will send in from like from the IITM server, but how can my like I need to return it to the same one, right? I need
So
to
like,
return it
see,
back.
this secret is also coming to your server, the place
Yeah,
where wherever you have deployed. This nonce is also coming to your server. So now you have a way to validate this secret, right?
yeah.
Okay. So now so now this is a same JSON object. Now if you are able to access this variable, you will be able to access this variable as well.
So no, like how you will verify? Like I need to send this to the evaluation URL.
Yeah, so you need to send this
Okay,
back to your evaluation URL, and that's how we will verify that this is a request that we sent and we got a response.
okay. Acha, you have updated this. First time it was signature, then you have convert to the secret one. Okay, I thought that. Okay, fine, fine, understood.
Hello, sir. I have one last question.
Yes, the issue.
Uh, Sir, in the project, I have asked this, and sir told that there will be multiple rounds, not only round one or round two. So, in round one and round two, there will be multiple rounds in round one and multiple rounds in round two. Is that right?
I think multiple tasks will be there.
Okay. I mean,
Multiple tasks.
in my project right now, I my code supports either round one then do this, and if round two then do this. So is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, but the task ID would be different.
Okay.
Yeah, means multiple tasks, but in one particular task there are only two rounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Shubhrit.
Sir, I joined a bit late. I wanted to ask, like, what is the agenda of today's session? Like, what we will discuss today?
It is mostly going to be around project one, which and you will come to know about it. So it will be around how do you use APIs to use LLM with APIs.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so completed the works on local machine, but not deployed or
So can I
face
send you my URL in Discourse in
problems with.
personal chat?
Yeah, you can share it with me.
Yeah, I have tagged you also, but due to many issues, I think you have like can't see it, like so much pressure on you. I understand that.
Uh, have created CRE. And then what is the other one that I wanted to ask is did not start. Can you guys respond to this poll that I have just created? Okay, what is project one? Three people don't know what that, and one of that is me. Yay, someone have created completed.
So me only.
Oh, okay. Right, we have got 14 plus 4 plus 1 and plus 1, which is 20 responses. And we have 34 people, so I will just wait for one more minute, and then and most of the people are falling in did not start or what is project one. It's quite bad. I was expecting mostly it will be kind of a normal distribution, so people will fall somewhere over here in these two bins.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay, can you please raise your hand, and Mohammed Salim, what's that you wanted to ask?
Okay, sir. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Jivraj, sir. Actually, I had one question. Actually, I am beginning this project currently, and I don't have any idea about how to start this project. I'm just starting, and the documents is very hard for me to understand. Can you please simplify it, the whole structure with the timeline, so that it will be easy for me to follow along what is happening in TDS?
Yeah, when you say timeline, what does that mean?
Like there will be deadline after 6 days, maybe, right?
Yeah, so
On
deadline is 17th.
Yeah, so like I'm seeing so many sections in project one, and I was not able to understand what is happening, Mr. Jivraj sir. So, um, can you please simplify the process? What is going to be in project one? It is new for me entirely. It will be a lot of help for me and other people, Mr. Jivraj sir. Please.
Okay, Salim, it was explained well in the session that we took on October 4th. So you would have to watch that session.
October 4th.
Yeah,
So it is live streamed, or I have to access it through the calendar.
it's present on YouTube.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Jivraj sir,
All right, okay.
for your assistance.
So I have provided with you the URL. So if you if you are free, please kindly check that URL.
Yeah, we'll check that out. Okay, so this is the result of the poll. All right, okay. So guys, please start this project as soon as you can. And
Sir,
continue.
I have
Yeah,
a question. Sir, I am having trouble with Hugging Face. I'm not able to make an account, like with my personal or with the IITM ID.
okay. Can we check that out later?
Okay.
All right. So
Hello, sir. Actually, I
Am I
have.
audible?
Hello.
yes, Roshan.
Yeah, I
Just
have
one
posted.
question.
Gana, please raise your hand
Okay,
before you
sorry,
ask.
sorry. Yeah.
So
Roshan.
can there be a dummy evaluation server created from IITM side so that we can upload our project and we can check the response, what response are we getting, whether any test cases
Sorry,
are
your
failing.
voice is breaking a lot. I cannot understand what you are trying to say.
He's asking for a dummy server to check the evaluation process of the projects.
Yes, sir. Can there be a dummy evaluation server created from the IITM side?
We'll think about it. I cannot promise anything at all.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah, that will be very helpful so that we will be able to know where are our test cases failing. Because
Okay.
the task can be anything, and depending upon that, we need to modify the whether the LLM is able to take the prompt or not, whether the prompt generated by the our API, the LLM is supporting it or not. Those things can be checked by the dummy IITM server side, so it will be helpful for us. Project.
So I think for that we just need that evaluation URL's website. If you provide us, then we can do that.
Okay, I will discuss this with the internal team, and I will let you know on discourse.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah,
Actually,
what is that you wanted to ask?
uh, yeah, actually, my deadline it is showing wrong. So I have mentioned yesterday also in the live
Deadline
class
for
for the GA3. It is showing tomorrow morning 11:29 a.m.
tomorrow morning 11. Which is, um, okay, is it showing wrong for you still?
Yeah,
Okay, and what is the time that is shown over here?
11:29.
Not over here. Over here, your system time.
System time is correct only, same. Now, currently it is 8:23 p.m. is showing.
Could you please share your screen
Yeah,
and please share your entire screen, just not one tab or something.
okay.
I
Yeah,
should be able to get a view of what is the machine's time and all those things.
sure, sure. Yeah,
Okay, so it is showing 15 hours from now,
yeah, yeah.
which is probably 12. Yeah, okay, makes sense. And then time is, yeah, it's correct. Time is also, okay. So I will take your email
Okay,
and we'll check why this problem might be. And I might, we might mail you regarding this.
okay,
If needed, we'll ask you to join a meet and try to diagnose what the problem could be. Could you
okay.
please
Just,
share your email address in the chat box?
yeah. Uh, yeah, it's given.
Yeah, okay.
And one more thing, this project related. So I some demo task something has created in the uh, GitHub page. So is it that much only, or anything else we need to do, or
What you have done?
shall I show you that page? Are you able to see?
Yeah, I am able to see
Yeah.
what you are talking about. Demo task.
This the project related.
Okay.
So this much has done now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know whether it is correct or not.
How have you created it and all those things?
I created with the help of ChatGPT.
You created this with the help of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So was this created programmatically via APIs?
Yes, yes, through VS Code I did.
All right. Okay. So I just check it out on project on page if there is it's handling all these requests correctly.
Uh, oh,
The sense it's the request is coming and then your endpoint is able to respond with 200 code and later it is able to ping the evaluation server is what I am trying to tell you.
means I need to try with those codes.
Which code?
You are saying which one you are talking about?
So what I'm trying talking about is it gets a request and then once it checks the secret it sends 200 OK code and then later it processes your request and then it pings the evaluation server is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So that who will do it? Whether I need to try it or
Uh,
from your
so
side?
so evaluation server you need to ping, right?
Okay.
So that logic you need to put in your code if it is not already present.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
once you have done creation of this GitHub repo that uses LLM to create it, and later you need to also share that via the evaluation URL that is there in the JSON. So just check it with the project one page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. think I don't know why there is still some confusions with how the evaluation is going to be with project one. It was explained in uh, 4th October session and then 5th October session as well. So let's watch those sessions. So far, I just have the same code that was there in the last session, which was about creation of GitHub repo. Yeah, these are the show these things. So these are the different things that is present in my code. So this is handle task is there, and then these are different other functions that I created, and I did not edit anything over here. Something is there in chat box. Is this the this session for project only? I joined. Yeah, it's for project. So this is the boilerplate that we created in the last session, which was to handle these rounds, round one and round two. Round two code is not over here, but I showed you how the flow of what this project is about. So it have functions for creating the GitHub repo, enabling the GitHub pages, then getting the SHA of the latest commit. That's for updating any file while pushing. It needed when you are updating a file before you push. Then writing the code with LLM is what is pending over here. This is a big chunk of project code. So this is what I'm going to teach today. How do you fill this bit? And I'm not worried about round two as of now. So this probably at the end of the session as well, this is going to be blank itself. Now, so before I start this, so this is the part where I will be doing most of the changes. And then once this gets done, this creation of GitHub repo and then enabling pages and then pushing code to repo. These are the functions that needs to be executed. And this is about writing code with LLM. Let's populate this bit now. Yeah, before I do this, yeah, instead of doing it over here, I will show you last term's project 2. What was done in that project, and you can get the idea of what you can do over here. So instead of populating directly this function, because this is almost most of the functions are already present in this from 4th October session, and there might be some logical changes that might need to do based on what is present over here. So make sure that that's up to mark. And oh, I forgot to pull your AC timing for GA3 deadline. All right, okay, so now I'm going to we are not going to put the server, and I'm going to request reports and use. I'm going to use this AI pipe for sending requests. So what we are trying to do is, let's say, this is not LLM. So if I open ChatGPT and paste this over here, write the scripts for this is what I'm writing is called prompt. It's like what you want to get done by LLM, and this prompt is this first prompt that I'm writing is not that efficient, in the sense it's not the robust prompt. I write the script for this task, and it shall be deployable to a empty GitHub repository.
Sir, sir, while it is doing, sir, you are using Copilot on VS Code, no, sir?
Yeah, I do use Copilot on my VS Code.
So, for me, it is showing license has expired or I have exceeded some limit. I have not done anything. Just one project, I opened it up and there was one question on using Copilot on VS Code. So immediately it says it's just my license is I've exceeded some limit and I have to upgrade to Pro. I didn't know what to do for those questions. There are two questions which use Copilot. So is it
Okay. So either use GitHub Education Pack, which is what you can use. Otherwise, ask somebody to give you the answer for that and modify it a bit. Some modifications you might have to do, and paste that answer into a GA3 page.
yes, but why would that happen when we have not used it before?
That I don't really know. I mean, that's GitHub is tracking your usage, so I don't really know why it's tracking your usage wrongly.
For generally GitHub Copilot, there are like 50 questions you can ask in a month. So if you have by mistake use like ask 50 questions during that month, or somebody else using your ID or not, I can't imagine, but so that's why it's that 50 questions are over, and that's why it's asking you now to go with the pro version, GitHub Copilot.
Okay, but I have never used it, so I don't know how it's counting. Okay, I'll check. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, it have generated some script, but now you see that this prompt that I gave was actually wrong prompt. That's why what it has generated is it have created a app.py and all these things, which it should not have, because it shall be completely based on uh, HTMLs and JavaScript. That's what we publish on the GitHub pages, right? So now what I will do is I will update this prompt. So write a script for this task, and it shall be deployable to GitHub pages. Okay, so now it have generated these HTML files and JavaScript files. I'm not worried about whether these are correct or not, since my prompt is also not that good. because it's just a single line of prompt. So yeah, so these are the files that I have created. Now this needs to happen through a API call, and this is what I will be showing you now. So I will just go to aipipe.org that provides you keys that you can use to access LLMs. Okay, not this one. I'll log in, and by logging in, I can yeah, I can get this key that is generated for me. And this is what, see the documentation, and the documentation is over here. There's proxy to send a request to open AI API with model GPT 5.0 mini. Okay, this is proxy to find. API key. I'll need to put the API key to validate and generate code. Instead of using it to generate code, yeah, okay, this is prompt. And now it's about, we need to call this function and write a Python function to add two numbers is what we are asking it to generate. And probably yeah, so what it have given is a template that sends a request to this particular endpoint, and it uses GPT 4.5.0 mini model to with this particular prompt. Until here, anyone have any doubt before I execute this script? All right, okay, so if nobody have any doubts, I will import OS, and I will also replace this with, yeah, this is what I will replace, and I will export this key from environment. Student, then export, and this is instead of AI pipe API key, something like this. And then I need to put this key, and this is a secret key, so I won't show this to you. So I will just stop sharing my screen, put this API key, and will reshare the screen. Okay, now that key is present in my environment. Now I should be able to execute this thing, but instead of uh, doing this with open generated code, and let's do this, which is I'm just writing it out to a file. UV run and usage. Why it's not able to. Okay. Where is this file? It's present in that directory, and I will move it to student directory. And pricing is not known, so maybe this this is not available. Let me try with the nano. It's same error. The function is not available. Okay. And what happens if I just use GPT-5.0? Okay, let me use 4.0 and that have created a file which is this one, and it have got these extra things which is these ones and then these ones, and it also have put this explanation over here and then over here. So certainly here is a simple Python function that adds two numbers, and then this function takes two numbers as parameter and it adds. So all this thing is not what we want. We just want this bit because this is the runnable script. So what happens is if GPT have created the scripts, which I just showed you a few minutes. So we just need those index.html. We don't really care about what it have generated here and there. So now we'll update this prompt a bit so that it just outputs that function. So your output should be the code block without any explanation or markdown formatting, and it should be directly executable Python code, should not contain any backticks or anything. Add comments about usage of. And this is not necessary. This is something I'm putting extra thing, which is about putting comments. What it have generated is it have generated this function, and it's executable directly. So this function I can just import somewhere and execute it. This is what we have. This is just an example. Now I will move to a better usage, which was from last term's project 2. Before that, anyone wanted to ask anything? Please ask. How do you use APIs? Is that clear? How do you use APIs of AI pipe? All right. Okay. So now I'll go to this is not this one. I think this is the one. And what is here? Is this the public one or private one? Okay, yeah, this is the public one. So I think this one have data analyst automation something. All right. Okay. So yeah. So Sheikh MD. Yeah,
Hello,
Sheikh.
sir. I have one down.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, sir. It's actually regarding the project itself. I have written the code to uh, run the application, uh, and it works. So it it actually can post the code on a GitHub repo and also launch a GitHub page for it. So is that it for our project, or should we do something more with it? Like
Just
I'm
check if the flow is
confused.
correct, which is it accepts a request and then it pings the server back in with 200 response code, and then uh, yeah,
Yes,
these things are there, and then it need to also
sure,
ping our evaluation server back. Just check if these things are there in your code.
sure.
At the
All
higher
right.
level, it's LLM
Thank
writing the code and you deploying the GitHub pages. Is correct.
you. It will deploy for us, right? The GitHub page as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So, yeah. Along with this one, I also need the public GitHub repository. It's not, Okay, this is the data analyst project. Okay, no, this is just test cases are there. So, project hyphen data analyst agent md. Yeah, okay. So what you had to do over here is you need to create a server where we can send a request, and we sent multiple files, which is it could be image and .csv files and all those things, and there will be one questions.txt. This is about project 2 from last term. Okay, so these files were sent to your endpoint, and what your endpoint have to do is your endpoint yeah, so this is example of questions.txt. So it have to scrape this particular Wikipedia page, and based on that it need to answer these questions. These are the questions that your endpoint needed to answer. So these questions you cannot answer, right? Because it needs to write code on the fly and execute the code and get the answer, and it also need to scrape this web page. And yeah, this is one of the example. Then this is another example which is about accessing a database, which is some Parquet files are there. I will show you one or two different examples as well, which is I'll just make a duplicate of this bit. Not needed this as of now. And these are the private test cases. And this is questions.txt. So yeah, so these are the dataset that we sent, which is the files that we sent to the student endpoint. Okay. So I'm talking about this particular request, and it's sending this questions.txt to the student's endpoint. So it's sending these three files, and then it's also sending this extra information about you need to get some data from external resources, which is one, you need to get choose a random city of your choice and get something from it's about the weather climate data. You can get it from here, which have some pressure information, temperature information, all those things. And then you also need to get some information from this page, and what are the primary effects. And then what is the other thing that is that? Yeah, so these are the questions that we asked later, and it needs to return a your endpoint needs to return with a JSON object with following keys. And what is there? These are 15 different keys. Okay, and this is what will be asked to your endpoint. So what is the average temperature anomaly for last decade? This is the first question. Then highest CO2, which country has the highest CO2. This is one of the test cases which have these 15 different questions which your endpoint need to process. And then these are the CSV files. This is one file. Then this JSON was the other JSON file that we sent. And then this CO2 emission.json is the third file that we sent to their endpoint. And then these are two different external resources as well that they need to get the data from. So for this is one simple. This is just one test case. This is another test case which uses another .csv file, and it processes these are the different questions. This one doesn't have external resources. All right, and then this is the third one, which have got these three. This one has external resource, and use LLM to analysis and text on. Yeah, so on these posts you use LLMs, and then these are the other JSON files and CSV files. Okay. And then there are few more test cases as well, which are in this one. So how we created solution for this was, I will demo you the internal solution for it. Solution underscore project 2.py. Yeah, let's just be me put py and move it over here, and I will copy this api.py, which is the actual solution. Okay, what happened? Why it's showing like this? Okay, now I am able to see this. All right, so one thing, it needs to accept the requests. So for that, we need to create an endpoint, which is app.post. Yeah, this is the endpoint that is there, and then it accepts these files that you get. And questions.txt is always comes with the same name, which have instructions about what all files are being sent to your endpoint, what you need to scrape externally, and then what are the questions that you need to process. Okay. So the solution, what it does is, now these files, these JSON or CSV files, they can be very big. So passing it directly to LLMs might be a lot costly, right? So that's why we, instead of passing the whole file, what we did was we passed metadata about the file, which is what all columns are there, and then few of the rows, which is one or two rows. If it's a CSV, then schema of the JSONs, all those things, we passed it to LLM. And then we asked LLM to process the request. And now let's have a look at what process request does. So process request, it reads the question file, and then it also processes the uploaded files. By processing, it means if it's a database, then it gets the information about the schema of the database, which is which all tables are there, which all columns are there in specific tables, and that it passes to GPT. And if it is CSV, then it gets the information about the headers. This is what it does. All right, just to reduce the token usage, and these CSV files can be very big as well. Okay, so if JSONs are there, then you pass on the schema. All this is what process upload files function is doing. And then if it's an image, then directly pass it to GPT. Then this is the function that is for generating Python script, and here is the prompt for it. You are required to generate a single complete runnable Python script that solves the following task. Now, if we are prompting an LLM, it needs to know what all questions are there. So this questions, where it comes from is questions.txt, which have those 15 different questions and information about the CSV files, and the information about what all external resources it needs to visit. Then this is another bit, which is about what all data is available. This is about the description about CSVs, JSONs, and all those things. Then these are strict requirements, and it have got a lot. This big prompt is there. So your output must be a single complete Python script that can be executed, and then you need to handle the missing data gracefully. Then generate. So visualizations, we had a restriction of having it under 100 KBs. So what is core to this thing was, when we were developing this script earlier, this was our prompt, and it was not handling it properly. What was not getting handled was, okay, let me run this script for you to see. And yeah, it's os dot environ. Just wanted to check what is the name of the API key that is being supported over here. And okay, where is the API key? Oh, it's actually directly using OpenAI module. Okay, and it must be creating a client over here, and it's using this API key. and it uses OpenAI API key. It's not going through the proxy that is there. All right, okay. So, do I have some script present in here? Let me just check what all things are present over here. Oh, this is September 24. No, not this one, not this one, not this one. Okay, not this one as well. Is it this one? Not this one as well. And this is 3 months ago, and that's also for P2. I think this is not the one. These are for sessions. Okay, probably I don't have it right now. All right, okay. So, I mean, now, yeah, I will now explain what the purpose of this code was. It was generating the code with the help of the LLM that was able to write answers for all the 15 questions, 15 or whatever number of questions are there. It may be less than 15 or more than 15. Okay. So, it was able to generate code for all those questions which were there as part of questions.txt, and I have shown you the different test cases. Now, the problem that was happening was some part of the script was failing, and because of which whole script was failing, which is yeah, like if you have a big script with 300 400 lines of code that solves all those 15 questions, then uh, it was failing because some little amount of code might break. So for that purpose, what we did was we instructed, yeah, this is also about usage of LLM. If there is some API, if it needs to get data from external resources, then it first uh, it should make a decision whether to, if there is already API exist and it can get data using that API, and then if it's a, yeah, what was happening was we had to fetch some of those external resources, which was Wikipedia pages. For that, it gets us HTML. Whenever you send a request to any Wikipedia page, it actually sends back HTML. So providing HTML to LLM is very costly. And if we convert it to Markdown, there are some tools like HTML2 text. They are able to convert it to Markdown. So once you have converted it to Markdown, it's 99 times cheaper or something like that, you can say. It's a lot cheaper in the sense the token usage will be very low. That's why we did this. And then it sends the complete markdown to OpenAI, and then it asks what it needs to get out of that markdown, which is in some structured JSON. All right, okay. And then if it's a API that it needs to extract, there is some restrictions on APIs. So you need to provide this robot.txt and all these things, and then user agent. So some APIs have restrictions about how it can be used. And then I talked about the issue of that script failing, right? Now, what do you do? Your script won't fail. What we come up with was try and accept blocks. And for each question, like there are 15 different questions. This is for question 1, and then this is for question 2, and then it also have try and accept, and then this is for question 3, and this also have got try and accept. Now what happens is, if this yeah, so in try, it's like you populate whatever is the key, which is like, let's say it's average temperature. Then at the end, it notes some average temperature. Let's say it's 1 degree centigrade. Okay, and then if it goes to accept, this is the error. I mean, it's not complete script. There will be some code over here, and let's say this code fails for any reason, then we capture that error over here. Accept exception as E, something like this. And then we capture this error over here. Okay, this is fine. I will just remove this bit as of now. So like that, there are 15 or whatever number of questions are there. Let's say there are 15 questions. It goes on. That was the flow of the script. It have try and accept blocks. And yeah, error gets noted over here. Now when we run this script, what happens is, even if it can fail some portion of the script, but overall the whole code will not fail. So that's why I will be able to execute this script. Whatever LLM have generated, I will be able to execute this script and get the output and send it back to the JSON object, right? That's why this helped a lot, which is these try and accept blocks. It prevented the script from overall failing. So script was not failing fully. Some questions were failing, and that now what all the questions that failed, right? What we did was, we had this function, which is fix script with LLM. What this does is, let's say this piece of code was failing, which is this error key is there in the response that is being generated by uh, by GPT. Okay, so if this error key is there, then we feed it back to GPT, and this time we ask it, we feed this error back, and this code that is present in the try block, and then we ask it to fix that script, and we specifically run for those questions itself instead of running for the whole question. And as part of the so this is LLM generated code. Now let's say this question 2 uses some external API. So what it was doing is, it was using request module, and then it was sending a request to whatever data that it needs to get, and then it was using HTML to text module to convert that response. So we get the response over here, and then respond.text is what we convert to a markdown. Actually, it's, what is the name of that module? Okay, what is the name of that module? Is HTML2 text. Yeah, some module is that. It was able to convert it to markdown, and then this GPT generated script was actually sending a request to OpenAI client with markdown and get the structured JSON response from it, something like this. And yeah, so it actually uses AI client, which is not described over here, but it uses this client and then it sends the request. So this whole script was generated by GPT. That's with the help of this prompt that I showed you. And then it had these try and accept blocks so that the whole script doesn't fail. And then if there is some external resource that it needs to send a request, earlier what we did was we had it in this code itself, but then later we moved it to LLM itself. So now LLM itself is writing the code to send a request, and then it's converting to markdown, and then internally it uses LLM to process. And what happens is, let's say here is some extra code over here. Okay, some code is here. Now what happens is this structured data that comes from uh, this request that has been made by this file while executing this file, it should sync with whatever is the below code, right? So this should be able, this should sync with whatever the code is there over here. So for that we had a prompt, and in that prompt we are saying yeah, so this is if it needs to access the external resources, then you must use this particular model. Okay, that's fine. The message must instruct the model to return only a single compact minified JSON object with no spaces. This is so that it returns a JSON, and it should use exactly and only the required key. And then, I mean, there was some place where it was mentioned that if it uses return, do not exclude any other things, and then random.txt. Yeah, always return only the Python valid code, and return the specific. Okay, what it was doing was whatever. I mean, this structured output should sync with this later code. So for that, it was instructed to send this structured output in such a way that whatever is the code after line number 16, it should be compatible with that code. Otherwise, this code should not break because the LLM was not giving the answer in the structured output. Yeah, that's why it was instructed. So this was the flow, and whatever script that LLM has generated, this is what we need to execute from our local machine. I mean, I was specifically showing you this prompt, what all things it have got this question, then what is the data available, and then these are the things to write the code in a specific manner to use try and accept. Then if there is some external resource that it needs to use, then how to use that is also there. And then yeah, this is the instruction about try and catch block, which is yeah, this is how you need to use it. All right, okay. So it was able to generate one single file, and then that file we need to execute. So this is just to, what it does is it basically uses this thing, which is subprocess module, to run the script. That is, this is LLM code.py is what we are saving on our local machine, whatever the code that LLM generated, and then we were saving it on local machine, and then we were running that code, and I'm providing this os.environment.copy. Why I was doing it, I was copying the same environment variables into this subprocess. The subprocess is a, you can execute some scripts from your main script. So it's like I'm executing this Python script from this script, which is solution project2.py. So I need to give this environment variable because we are using LLMs. So that it can use LLMs, I have copied this environment variable into this subprocess. Okay. And then yeah, it have some timeout as well, because there was some restrictions on how much time it can take to write code. But that LLM was able to write code within 30 to 45 seconds. And then we executed that script, and then we captured the output of that script. and then that we returned. And let's say if some of those have this error block, right? This error is optional. Now you know about, if this try block passes, if it comes to end of this try block, this won't go to accept block. So if it have went to accept block, it have got some error. Now this error we feed it back to LLM and fix that specific bits, and then we get the JSON back which was requested. So which is yeah. So this is these are the keys that should be there in that JSON is what was requested. So these things we send it back. Okay. So anybody wanted to ask anything as of now? Uh, don't focus on other stuff. I wanted you to particularly focus on the prompt part of it, how that prompt was constructed to write the LLM code in a specific way. Okay, anyone wanted to ask anything? Please, you can unmute and ask. Okay, that is it from my side. If there is something specific that you want to ask, please go ahead. Or else, if there is something that you are facing difficulty with project or anything, you can ask me. Okay, so one more thing is, when you write that prompt, what happens is, it is not something that you write in one single go. I It's like you write the prompt and then yeah. So that prompt was written in multiple iterations, which is, you first write a prompt and then you wanted to make it better. So I mean, you first write the prompt and then you see if it is is it producing the expected output. If it is not producing the expected output, then you need to make your prompt better. So for writing better prompt, you need to think what is missing, and then you can use GPT to write prompt. But then you also need to instruct what was missing from the previous prompt and how it needs to be updated. All right, if there is no questions or no problems, then I will just drop this session.
Only that GA3. So,
GA3. Okay, what is that?
so that only. So my Copilot it's not working. The CLI also.
Uh, oh, is it related to Copilot CLI or specifically
No, they have
Copilot
said.
itself?
No, so they have said other Copilot is not working for both CLI as well as on Visual Studio Code, VS Code. So I'm not able to do two questions. I don't know why, sir. I have not used it before. So I'm
I too don't know, but yeah, what you can try
yes,
out is
yeah, quota exceeded, upgrade to increase your limit. And then we'll have to pay, no?
okay. Do one thing. You try it out with a different account. So create a different account with your personal email address or something like that. You can try.
Okay, that
I mean,
is
I'm
okay.
not sure why it shows quota exceeded. How GitHub is managing all those things.
Okay, so I'll have to create a new repo then.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay. So I'm dropping this call now.
So I had a doubt.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. In the third grader assignment, with respect to this GitHub Copilot logs, I keep getting an error that I'm not sure how to get rid of. So this is the fifth question, and I keep getting this error that there are no rolling session markers in my log. But I don't know what that means and how to get it there because whatever I'm getting in the log, I'm pasting it there.
Okay. So all right. LM called code evaluation system. Yeah. So what I have done is it's about the. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, that is.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So okay, not this one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the one. What I did was I put this code that checks for the answer, which you can find from uh, not from GitHub, which is GA2, and then you change it to GA3, and then go to inspect and particularly to sources, and then this is the place where you can find this JavaScript code from. Okay,
Okay, so that will help
and
me debug this.
yeah, what happens is this is the code that checks for all these questions. Okay, and yeah, some of the questions it mentions right over here. It's possible to get answers for some of the questions. It is using this sources tab you can get. So
Okay.
uh, it have for different questions. It have some code for it, which is let me just figure out one of the question. Okay. Yeah, it's over here. So this is code for a specific question. You copy this code into GPT. What this is what I have done, and I have asked while solving this question, I get the following error, and this error I provide it over here. Then it suggests some things, and if that doesn't work, you ask this GPT itself. So I will share this chat, and you can proceed from here itself. I mean, you can start adding things to here.
Okay, so because I also tried asking GPT many times, I tried different variations, but I couldn't figure out what this marker is.
Yeah. Okay. You try with this one, which have evaluation code. Okay. Send that evaluation code. I already have a chat for that purpose, which I have just shared in the chat window, which have code for the specific question that you have asked, and then I have asked GPT to check what is the issue, and then it have suggested few things.
Okay,
And it might so whatever it have suggested, it might not be the exact solution. Then you need to put the new error that you get, and it will help
okay,
you resolve that.
okay,
All right.
I'll try that. And one more thing, in the seventh question, I believe, where you have to write a bash command with the LLM tool, I'm not able to figure out the correct prompt for that because every time I try out different things, the feedback that I get keeps suggesting not to use the LLM, which is against the point of the question, right?
Okay, so do the same for that question as well,
Okay, okay,
or
I'll try
else
that.
ask somebody on Discord.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else wanted to ask anything?
So, sir, for that CLI again, no, they have mentioned in the question we can use any CLI, not necessarily Copilot, but I
Okay.
don't know how to use another CLI, sir. Because in that question it says, I think it says any CLI. It says Copilot, CLI, Codex, Claude, Code, Gemini, IDER, Cursor, CLI, etc. So at least one problem I can solve. So I just have to replace the Copilot with Claude CLI. I don't know.
You can try that out. But what I would suggest is use a different GitHub account, or you can directly even ask somebody to share you answer for that.
But sir, I have to put an endpoint, no sir? Okay, I'll ask them for the answer. That is easier.
Answer in the sense they host the endpoint, which is it could be via ngrok, or they host it somewhere on Vercel or whatever they do, and then they give it to you.
Yes, sir. I have hosted on ngrok only, sir. So in my ngrok, when I'm sending from this question paper, no, that from there, when the request is sent, I'm getting a response from ngrok which says that quota exceeded. That's how I came to know that the quota is exceeded. Instead of sending back that seven some factorial I'm supposed to calculate, it is
Yeah,
saying
ask
quota.
some other student to give you their ngrok URL that you can submit. I mean,
I'll give
I'm not
my
sure why
code.
you are facing this issue.
And I'll give my code and ask them to host it on their machine.
Yeah.
I think that's better. Okay, sir. Actually, my GitHub has gone. GitHub has exhausted the quota. Okay, sir. I'll find out if somebody can help.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Then I'm now closing this meet.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. And guys, please start working on project because it's a
Project.
tough one, I can say.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, it will take some time from you. Yeah. So most of you have not even started. So and deadline is just 1 week later. So I would suggest you to work on it.
Sir, I had a small doubt.
Yes.
Can't we simply use Jules?
Jules for
Because
what?
Jules does the same thing. The whatever what the project topic is given to us, the exact same thing is done by Google's Jules.
I mean, you're saying for yeah, yeah, you can try if that works. I have got what you are trying to say. Yeah, I mean, if that works, you can try that out.
वेदांत,
यस।
आपने बना लिया क्या?
नहीं नहीं, बनाया नहीं है।
यूज किया है जो